Old Meng summoned the Shengxia Tower in his hand, and, with that, he started working on the Abyss Teleportation Stone. The Abyss Teleportation Stone started shining brightly, as if a flame were forming inside it. The energy coming out of it was very pure. Then, after Old Meng completed working on the Abyss Teleportation Stone, he gave it back to Lin, telling him that he had added the coordinates of the human world to it, so Lin could use it to travel to and from the Abyss world. However, he warned Lin, saying that there were limits to its spatial abilities. Every use had a duration of 1 hour, and the teleportation stone was soulbound to Lin, so only he could use it. Lin genuinely thanked Lord Meng. Then, Bai Shen advised Lin to keep the talent stone safe, saying it would be very useful to him when he underwent the third job evolution. As for the divine flame staff, Bai Shen would see if he could find someone to fix it. Upon hearing Bai Shen's words, Lin took out the great magician's staff from his inventory and presented it to them, saying, "This is a legendary weapon. There are only a few of them within the human race, so it's better to have one more." Suddenly Lin remembered the Ghost King's heart. He took it out and asked Lord Bai Shen if he could trouble him about something. Seeing the Ghost King's heart in Lin's hand, both Bai Shen and Old Meng were too surprised to say anything. Old Meng looked at Bai Shen and asked if he hadn't told Bai Shen that the battlefield Ghost King was killed by this kid. Old Meng's words hit where it hurts. Bai Shen never thought that Lin would surpass his expectations. Bai Shen asked Lin if he had obtained the Nirvana crystal since he killed the battlefield Ghost King. Lin told Bai Shen that the battlefield Ghost King dropped 5 Nirvana crystals in total, and he had 3 of them at hand. Hearing that, Bai Shen asked Lin to give him 2 of them, and he would help Lin prepare for the second job evolution. Bai Shen was pained. He told Lin that he wouldn't dare to say anything else, but he promised Lin that during his second job evolution, Lin would have an 80% chance of upgrading his profession and a 30% chance of awakening a second talent. Bai Shen said to Lin that it was a shame that this was Lin's second time awakening a talent. If it were the first, Bai Shen would have 90% confidence in letting him awaken a talent. Lin sincerely thanked Lord Bai Shen, knowing that for the sake of Lin's job evolution, Lord Bai Shen must have made many sacrifices. Old Meng interrupted, asking Lin if he was still calling him Lord Bai Shen. Old Meng's words held a heavy weight, and Lin understood what Old Meng wanted to tell him. Lin went directly to Bai Shen, and with a drink in his hand, he again greeted Bai Shen, saying, "Disciple Lin Mo Yu greets Master." This time, Lin didn't call Bai Shen Lord, but he called him Master Bai Shen. Bai Shen smiled and grabbed the drink Lin was offering him, which meant he had accepted Lin as his official disciple. Lin remembered all the things Bai Shen had done for him. Lin now counted Bai Shen as a part of his family in this world. Well guys, if you observe this picture carefully, you will see that along with Lin's sister, Grandma, and Bai Shen, there is also Yi Yi in his mind as his family. This shows that Lin has already thought of her as a part of his family. Now back to the story. After Bai Shen accepted Lin as his disciple, he told Lin to go back and take a good rest because he had worked hard these few days. And tomorrow, Lin would be heading to Nanhong City. Bai Shen told Lin to perform well in the competition of professionals and win the crown back. Lin told his master, Bai Shen, not to worry. Then Lin teleported from there and went back to his room. After Lin left, Old Meng asked Bai Shen if he was happy now that Lin had become his disciple. Bai Shen, with a sad expression, asked Old Meng why he would be happy, as his years of savings were about to be fully depleted. Well, Bai Shen didn't want to admit that he was happy. Hearing Bai Shen, Old Meng smiled, telling Bai Shen that his mouth doesn't speak his heart. Then, Old Meng told Bai Shen that there was something about Lin that he hadn't told him. He explained to Bai Shen that when Lin and that girl from the Mo family were battling the battlefield Ghost King, they offended the Wang Chao Guild and killed the Wang Chao Guild's young president. Hearing that, Bai Shen was a little sad, asking why Lin didn't say anything. Bai Shen was angry, saying, "What kind of trash is that Wang Chao Guild? I will go and slap everyone to death." Old Meng tried to calm Bai Shen, telling him that maybe Lin might be thinking of settling it himself and didn't wish to trouble Bai Shen. So, Old Meng told Bai Shen not to interfere with this and not to make a big deal out of it, not to create trouble for Lin. Hearing Old Meng, Bai Shen smiled, saying that this disciple of his had some backbone. Bai Shen asked why Old Meng thought he would interfere if he was that foolish. Old Meng laughed, saying he thought Bai Shen was kind of foolish regarding his disciple. Besides that, Old Meng told him that Old Ning found out about Yi going to the third battlefield, so he is probably going to find Bai Shen soon. Well, now there was nothing Bai Shen could argue about, knowing that explaining everything to Old Ning would be very hard. Then, on the second day in Nanhong City, a huge arena was selected for the competition of professionals. At the Nanhong City's competition of professionals, a large number of participants were gathering from all around. Lin was participating in this competition with Zhang Taotao's group. Miao Yu was amazed to see that there were so many people. Duan Gao told Miao Yu that he heard that over 10,000 teams were participating this year. Zhang Taotao knew that over 90% of teams would be eliminated in the auditions, but she was thinking that even if they didn't rely on Lin Moyu in the auditions, they should have no problems at all. Suddenly, their turn came to go into the arena. Zhang Taotao went into the arena, saying they would pass the auditions first, and right after her, Miao Yu, Duan Gao, Ning Yi, and Lin Moyu entered. When they first entered, there was a bright light, and suddenly, they all were teleported to a different space. This space was filled with red smoke, and iron chains were hanging all around. Seeing inside the arena, Lin immediately recognized that the Emperor used the Shenxi Tower for the test. They just had to follow the tunnel and defeat all the monsters to pass. Lin said, "This is the easiest and most effective method to audition." Then, before going into the tunnel, Zhang Taotao asked Duan Gao to buff them all. Duan Gao buffed everyone, and everyone's strength, agility, mana, and health increased. Just as planned, Zhang Taotao told Lin that they would try it first, and asked Lin to please help them if they couldn't handle it. Well, Lin didn't have any problem with that, as he could relax for the first time in a fight. Then the whole group, in which Lin was in, started going deep into the tunnel. The first monster they encountered was a fake level 27 Abyss Dog Demon, with 3,000 strength, 3,000 agility, 1,000 spirit, and 2,000 constitution. It only had the bite skill. When Zhang Taotao and the others first saw the fake Abyss Dog Demon, they charged at it with full power. Seeing that compared to the real Abyss Dog Demon, the fake Abyss Dog Demon's level was lower by 4 levels, and the attributes had been decreased significantly. Lin thought Zhang Taotao and the others should have no problem dealing with it. And he was right. Using her shield properly, Zhang Taotao attacked the Abyss Dog Demon with a charged skill. Right after that, she used her shield bash skill and hit the Abyss Dog Demon's head with full power. Because of the shield bash skill, the Abyss Dog Demon's head was spinning. Taking this opportunity, Yi used her stealth technique and went behind the Abyss Dog Demon. Then, using her hell-level dagger, she killed the Abyss Dog Demon in one shot. After killing the Abyss Dog Demon, Yi thought, "Looks like after following Moyu for so long, I've become much stronger as well." Seeing Yi's skill, Zhang Taotao took a sigh of relief, saying they can still deal with this. Let's move on. Looking at them, Lin smiled. He knew from his experience that the examinations would never be so simple. This was just the beginning. Well, on the other side, people outside were getting more and more excited seeing the scoreboard. People were shocked to see that on the scoreboard, there were still over 30,000 teams left. It seems like the auditions were difficult too. Just as time was passing, one after another, many teams were eliminating. Inside the arena, when Zhang Taotao's team went deep into the tunnel, they encountered many more fake Abyss Dog Demons. Yi was using the Hell Daggers very effectively to deal fatal strikes on those Abyss Dog Demons. She even used the Hell-level daggers as long-range weapons to attack the Abyss Dog Demons. Using her implosion skill, she burned the Abyss Demons to ashes. Not only her, Zhang Taotao with her shield and Miao Yu using her wind magic were also dealing with Abyss Dog Demons. Zhang Taotao's slash skill was very effective against the Abyss Dog Demons who couldn't defend their bodies. Everything was going smoothly, but Bai Shen was not happy seeing the scoreboard. He was getting angry, saying, "What is that brat doing? Why is he so slow?" Bai Shen was angry because other teams were already at 40 points, but Lin's team was only at 23. He asked Old Meng that since Old Meng controlled the Shenxi Tower, couldn't he reveal the reason why Lin was that behind? Old Meng straight said no to Bai Shen, saying, "It's just an audition test. It's not about speed anyways." Bai Shen made a fist, telling Old Meng to stop with the nonsense. Angry Bai Shen said that if Lin doesn't win back the crown, then they will see how Bai Shen will deal with Lin. Well, on the other hand, indeed in the arena, Zhang Taotao, Yi and others were very exhausted after fighting for that long. But before they could even rest a little, suddenly, a level 29 fake Abyss Dog Demon appeared. This was an ordinary demon with 5,000 average strength, agility, constitution, and 2,000 spirit. Seeing the monster's stats, Zhang Tao Tao immediately